The true secret of power is consciousness of power.
The universal mind is unconditional, so the more conscious I become of my unity with this mind, the more I am liberated from conditions. I come into a realization of who I am. As I am conscious of the prosperous power of the world within, I begin to draw on this power. I apply the great possibilities to realize.
As I become conscious, I manifest in the objective world intangible expression.
The infinite mind is the source of all things, the one and indivisible. I am a channel to this eternal energy being manifested. My ability to think is my ability to act on this universal substance. As I think, I create in the objective world. The result of this discovery is marvelous and shows that my mind is extraordinary in quality and quantity and contains infinite possibilities. When I am conscious of this power, I am a live wire, with the same effect as placing ordinary wire in contact with a wire that is charged.
The universal is the live wire. It carries power sufficient to meet every situation in my life. When the individual mind touches the universal mind, it receives all the power it requires. This is the world within. All science recognizes the reality of this world, and all power is contingent on my recognition of this world.
The ability to create conditions relies on mental action, and mental action depends on consciousness of power. Therefore, the more conscious I become of my unity with the source of all power, the greater my power to control and master every condition. I become conscious of the larger world of thought, increasing my mental capacity as well as placing myself in position to accomplish greatness.
This is the secret of success, a method of organizing victory, the accomplishment of the master mind. Think big thoughts. The creative energies of mind enjoy handling large situations. Mind is just as much present in the infinitely large as in the infinitely small.
When I realize these facts concerning mind, I understand how I may bring myself any condition by creating the corresponding conditions in my consciousness. Because everything that is held in mind for any length of time in the consciousness eventually becomes impressed on the subconscious and becomes a pattern for the creative energy flow into my life. In this way, conditions are produced, and I find that my life is the reflection of my predominant thoughts, my mental attitude, and I know the science of correct thinking is the one science that includes all other sciences. From this science, I know every thought creates an impression on the brain. These impressions create mental tendencies, and these tendencies create character, ability, and purpose, and that the combined action of character, ability, and purpose determines the experiences I shall meet in life. Experiences come to me through the law of attraction. The action of this law that I meet in the world are first experiences of thought from my world within.
The predominant thought or the mental attitude is the magnet, and the law is that like attracts like.
Consequences of my mental attitude will definitely attract such conditions that correspond with my nature. This mental attitude is my personality and is composed of the thoughts I have been creating in my mind. So if I wish a condition, I focus the thoughts. This will in turn create mental attitude. This will change my personality, form relationship with things, conditions, and experiences to meet expectation.
It is necessary to develop the mental attitude. By persistent effort, it will be accomplished. The mental attitude is patterned after the mental pictures photographed on the brain.
I must love the pictures or create new pictures. This is the art of visualization. As soon as I do this, I will attract new things, and the new things will correspond to the new pictures.
To do this, impress on the mind with a perfect picture of the desired objective and continue to hold the picture in mind until results are obtained.
The desire requires determination, ability, talent, courage, personal power, and spiritual power. These are necessary essentials for my picture. I build them in.
They are the vital part of the picture. They are the feeling that combines with the thought and creates the irresistible magnet power to draw in success.
They give my picture life.
And life life means growth.
And as soon as it begins to grow, the result is practically assured. I aspire to the highest possible attainments in anything I undertake, for the mind forces are ever ready to respond to a purposeful will in the effort to crystallize its highest aspirations into action, accomplishments, and circumstance.
These mind forces operate by the method that all habits are formed.
I do a thing, then do it again, and again, and again, until it becomes easy and automatic, and the same rule applies in changing habits. Change a thing, and then again, and again, I am entirely changed. The rule is absolute and invincible, and gives me credit for every effort and every success. I dare to believe in my own idea. Remember that nature is plastic to the idea. Imagine the idea as an already accomplished fact. The creative thought is dominated by the idea. I concentrate on the truth. I realize that truth shall make me free. I have my perfect success as I learn to apply my scientifically correct thought methods and principles. I realize that the silence offers an infinite opportunity. As I awaken the highest conception of truth, I comprehend omnipotence.
Silent thought concentration is the true method of reaching, awakening, and expressing
The wonderful potential power of my love. Knowledge has priceless value. By applying knowledge, I make my future. When I realize that my present character, my present environment, my present ability, my present physical condition are the result of past thinking, I have the conception and value of knowledge. When the state of my health needs improvement, I examine my method of thinking. I remember that every thought produces an impression on my mind.
Every impression will sink into the subconscious and form a tendency. The tendency will be to attract related thoughts and develop more of the same results.
If there is any physical condition that I need to change, the law governing visualization will be found effective. I make a mental image of physical perfection. I hold it in my mind until it is observed by the consciousness.
It is through the law of vibration that the mind exercises this control over my body.
I know that every mental action is a vibration, and I know that all form is a mode of motion, a rate of vibration.
Therefore, any given vibration immediately modifies every atom in the body. Every life cell is affected, and an entire chemical change is made in every cell. Everything in the universe is energy vibration.
Change the rate of vibration, and I change nature, the quality and form. The vast panorama of nature, both visible and invisible, is changed by changing the rate of vibration, and as thought is a vibration, I can also exercise this power. I can change the vibration and produce any condition I desire to manifest in form. I am using this power in every moment. I use it intelligently and produce desirable results. I have sufficient experience to know what produces pleasant vibration in the body. I can consult my own experience. When my thought has been uplifting, progressive, constructive, courageous, noble, kind, or desirable, I have set in motion vibrations to bring about certain results.
These rates of vibration, when kept up, crystallize in form. The result is definite mental, moral, and physical health.
The objective mind has certain effects on the body that are easily recognized. Someone says something that strikes me as funny, and I laugh.
Possibly until the whole body shakes.
That shows that the thought has control over the muscles of the body. Or someone says something that excites my sympathy and my eyes fill with tears.
That shows that thought controls the glands of the body.
As these experiences are the results of the action of my objective mind over the body, the results are temporary and leave the situation as it was before.
The action of the subconscious mind over the body differs.
I receive a wound. Thousands of cells begin the work of healing at once. In a few days or a few weeks, the work is complete. I may even break a bone. The subjective mind will immediately begin the process of welding the parts together, and in a short time, the bone is as solid as it was before.
Usually proceed without my conscious knowledge or direction.
And the result is perfect, as these millions of repair cells are all intelligent and respond to my thought.
The way to health is in the law of vibration. That is the basis of all science, and this this law is brought into operation by the mind, the world within.
It is a matter of individual effort and practice. I can find the cause in the world within.
By changing the cause, I change the effect.
Every cell in my body is intelligent and will respond to my direction. The cells are all creators and will create the exact patterns that I give them.
When perfect images are placed before the subjective, the creative energies build a perfect body. Brain cells are constructed in the same way. The quality of the brain is governed by the state of mind, or mental attitude.
I can see that when I will the body to manifest health, strength, and vitality, this must be the predominant thought. I know then every element of the human body is a result of a rate of vibration. I know that mental action is a rate of vibration. I know that a higher rate of vibration governs, modifies, and controls all changes. I know that the rate of vibration is governed by the character of brain cells.
I know how to create these brain cells. I know how to make any physical change in the body I desire. Having secured a working knowledge of the power of the mind to this extent, I know there is practically any possibility in my ability to be in harmony with natural law. This realization and recognition of the omnipresent power will quickly change any form of suffering and substitute harmony and perfection.
I appreciate the ideal self, made in the image and likeness of Source, and I will appreciate the all-originating mind that forms, upholds, sustains, and creates all that is.
Because most religions, sciences, and philosophies in the world familiar to me are based upon the manifestation of energy instead of the energy itself. Concepts have also been limited to effects, while causes have been ignored or misunderstood.
So, I have God and the devil in spirituality, positive and negative in science, and good and bad in philosophy. The life master is only interested in cause. Conclusively, I am finding the cause so I may secure my own health, harmony, abundance, and happiness. Life is expressive, and it is my business to express myself harmoniously.
The process of eliminating fear or negativity consists in rising above and beyond limitations of any kind. One who has strengthened and purified their thought has come into an understanding of the law of abundance and goes directly to the source of supply.
This fate, fortune, and destiny are controlled as a driver controls their vehicle. The I of me is more than physical body.
The body is simply an instrument the I uses to carry out its purpose.
The I is more than the brain.
For the brain is simply another instrument that I uses to think, reason, and plan.
The I must be something that controls and directs both the body and the brain, something that determines what I will do and how I will act. When I come into realization of the true nature of this I will be, I will do, and I will have. My personality is made up of countless individual characteristics, peculiarities, habits, and traits of character. These are the result of my past and method of thinking, and they are different from the true I. When I say I think, the I tells the mind what it will think. When I say I go, the I tells the physical body where it will go. The real nature of this I is the spiritual and is the source of the true power that comes to everyone when I come into a realization of my true nature.
The greatest and most marvelous power this I has is the power to think. The trained mind knows that every transaction must benefit everyone who is in any way connected with the transaction. This is because the individual is a part of the universal. The benefit of each part depends on recognition for the interest of the greater good. Those who recognize this principle have a great advantage in the affairs of life. They can readily concentrate to the highest possible degree on any subject. The result will be exactly in proportion to the effort expended.
One of the strongest affirmations that I can use for the purpose of strengthening the will and realization of my power to accomplish is, I will be, I will do, I will have. Every time I repeat it, I realize who and what this I is.
I come into a thorough understanding of the true nature of the I.
I will become invincible. My objectives and purposes will be constructive and in harmony with the creative principled universe. I make use of this affirmation, use it continuously, constantly, during the day as I think of it, and continue to do so until it becomes a part of me, being my habit. I will be, I will do, I will have. As I think a thought, I will get what I want. When I consistently think a thought, I will become that creator of my will. When I always think as I always thought, I will always get as I always got. I will be, I will do, I will have. I carry out this idea beginning with small things, and I know that I can control and gradually increase the effort. As I learn to control myself, I find the world within that controls the outer world. This is when I remember the world within is controlled by the I, and this I is one with the infinite I, the universal energy or spirit.
This is more than a statement of theory. For the purpose of confirming or establishing an idea, it is a fact that must be accepted by the best spiritual and scientific thought.
It is certain that I am always the presence of infinite and eternal energy. I may think of God as dwelling in me rather than operating from outside me.
Science finds the ever-present eternal energy. Spirituality finds the power behind this energy and locates it within me. Either way,
it is the secret of the wonderful creative power of the world within.
Here is the secret of power, of life mastery.
I must give, then I get. I must be helpful and strong. The infinite is prosperous, and I represent infinite power. To be of service to others, I must have power. To get it, I must give it. I must be of service, in service to others. The more I give, the more I shall get. I must become a channel of the universal to express activity.
The universal is constantly seeking to express itself, to be of service, and it seeks the channel to find the greatest activity, where it can be of the greatest service to everyone.
The universal can only express through me when I quiet the senses, seek inspiration, focus the mental activity on the source, deepen myself in the consciousness of my unity with omnipotence.
Still waters run deep.
Contemplate the abundant opportunities and my spiritual access by the omnipresence of power. I visualize the events, circumstances, and conditions that these spiritual connections assist in manifesting. I realize the fact that the essence and soul of all things is spiritual, and that the spiritual is the real. It is the life of all there is. When my spirit is gone, my life is also gone.
Mental activities pertain to the world within, to the world of cause. The condition, circumstances that result are the effect.
It is how I become a creator. This is important work. The higher, grander, and more noble the ideas I conceive, the more important the work I will do.
Work, play, or physical activity of any kind produces conditions of mental exhaustion. Meditation, contemplation, or silent prayer develops the realization of conscious power.
I need the place of silence frequently. Power comes through repose. It is in the silence that I can be still, and when I am still, I can think, and thought is the secret of all attainment.
Thought is a mode of motion and is carried by the law of vibration, the same as light or electricity. It is given vitality by the emotions through the law of love. It takes the form of expression by the law of growth, and it is produced of the spiritual I. Therefore, it is divine, spiritual, and creative in nature. It is evident that to express power, abundance, or any constructive purpose, the emotions must give feeling to the thought, so thought will take form. This is vital to develop the faith, the courage, the feeling, resulting in accomplishment.
Mental strength is secured in exactly the same way that physical strength is secured.
By exercise.
I think something, I think the same thing again, and it becomes easier. I think it again and again. It then becomes a mental habit. I continue to think the same thing. Finally, it becomes automatic. I am now positive of what I think think I am sure I know. The truth is that the quality of thought that I entertain correlates with external forces. This is within the law of metaphysics. The correlative power of thought, cause, and effect on an objective leads me to greater understanding of the source. After studying carefully, I will see that every conceivable object, fact, or force is the result of mind in action.
Mind in action is thought, and thought is creative. It is a creative age, and the world is awarding its richest prizes to the thinkers. Matter is passive and inert. Mind is force, energy, and power. Mind shapes and controls matter. Every form that matter takes is pre-existing thought.
Thought works towards transformations. It obeys natural laws. It sets in motion natural forces. It releases natural energies. It manifests in my conduct and actions, and in turn reacts on my associates and my environment. I will originate thought, and as thoughts are creative, I will create the things I desire. My thought becomes things. 90% of my mental life is subconscious. The subconscious will solve any problem for me when I know how to direct it. The subconscious processes are always at work. I need to consciously direct the work when I have a vision of the destination. I know that mind invades every part of the physical body and is always capable of being directed or impressed by authority from the objective, the more dominant portion of the mind. The mind that pervades the body is largely the result of heredity.
That is the result of all the environments of the past generations on the responsive and ever-moving life force.
I can consciously use all desirable characteristics that I have been provided, and I can repress and refuse to allow the undesirable ones to manifest. Again, this mind includes my physical body. It is more than the result of hereditary tendencies. It is the result of home, business, and social environment where countless thousands of impressions, ideas, prejudices, and similar thoughts have been received.
Much of this has been received from others, the result of opinions, suggestions, or statements.
And much of it is the result of my own thinking. Most of it was accepted with little examination or consideration.
The idea seemed plausible. The conscious received it, passed it to the subconscious, and it was taken up by the sympathetic system and passed on to be built into my physical body. The word became substance.
This is the way I am consistently creating and recreating myself. I am today the result of my past thinking, and I shall be tomorrow what I am thinking today. The law of attraction is bringing to me the things that I have created by my thought processes, consciously and unconsciously.
How careful will I plan building my home? I'll study every detail. How will I choose the material and select only the best of everything?
When it comes to building my mental home, this place is an infinitely more important place than any physical home. I will give greater attention. Everything that I can possibly enter into my life depends upon the character of the material entering into my mental home.
What is the character of this material?
I have seen that it is the result of the impressions that I have accumulated in the past and stored away in my subconscious mind. When I immediately replace negative thought and restore courageous thought, when I am optimistic and positive, my mind material is the best kind.
I can weave any kind of thought material I want.
I can choose quality. I know the texture is firm and the form is solid.
These are the physiological facts. There is no theory or guesswork about these thinking processes.
They are so plain that everyone can understand them. The thing to do is to have a mental house cleaning and to have this house cleaning every day and keep the house clean. Mental, moral, and physical cleanliness are absolutely necessary.
When this mental house cleaning process has been completed, the material that is left will be suitable for making the kind of ideas or mental images that I desire to realize.
There is a a fine estate waiting, its broad acres with abundant crops, running water, and tall trees stretching as far as the eye can see. There is a mansion, spacious and cheerful, with every comfort and luxury. All I have to do is to state my claim, take possession, and take care of it.
In the domain of mind and spirit, as in the domain of practical power, such an estate exists. I am the heir. I must assert my claim and use this rich inheritance.
It will give me power over circumstances is one benefit. Health, harmony, and prosperity are assets as well. I own poise and peace.
The cost is the labor of study and harvesting its greatest resources.
To gain this estate, 3 processes are necessary. I must genuinely desire, I must assert my claim, I must take possession.
I am familiar with the subject of heredity. Darwin and other physical scientists have piled evidence mountain high that heredity is the law of progressive creation. It is progressive heredity that gives me strong attitude, power of motion, the organs of digestion, blood circulation, nerve force, muscular force, bone structure, and a host of other faculties on the physical side.
There are even more impressive facts concerning heredity of mind force. All these constitute what may be called my human heredity. There is another heredity. It stands under all their researches. It is the fundamental force that decrees primal creation. It shines from the divine directly into every created being. It originates life that the physical sciences are working on now. It stands out among all forces supreme. This infinite life flows through me. It is me. Its doorways are the facilities that comprise my consciousness. To keep open these doors to the secret of power, it is worthwhile to make the effort.
The great fact is that the source of all life and all power is from within. Persons, circumstances, and events may suggest need and opportunities.
The insight, strength, and power to answer these needs will be found within. I build firm foundations for my consciousness on forces that flow direct from the infinite source, the universal mind that I am the image reflecting. As I come into possession of this inheritance, I will come into possession the sense of power only dreamed of before. I am integrally connected with omnipotence. Something in me is aroused. I have discovered that I possess a tremendous ability. This power is within. I receive it when I give it. Use is the condition. I hold this inheritance. I am the channel of the omnipotent power being manifested into form. As I give, the channel is opened. I will receive.
This is true on every plane of existence and in every field of endeavor and all walks of life. The more I give, the more I will get.
The athlete who wishes to get strong must make use of their strength, and the more given, the more got.
The entrepreneur who seeks to make money must use money by using money to get more.
The recognition of this fact depends on the ability to demonstrate all power, physical, emotional, mental, or spiritual. All possession is a result of the accumulative attitude of mind, or the prosperity consciousness. This is the magic wand that will enable me to receive the idea, and it will formulate plans for me to execute. And I will find as much pleasure in the execution as in the satisfaction of attainment and achievement.